everybody. Welcome to Indie Film Cafe and welcome to our channel. If you're new to our channel, subscribe if you can, and welcome. If you are a member already, then welcome back.
Yay.
To our to our members. It's been a long morning, so I've decided that this is going to be a lot of fun with me and Paul and his continuity monkey. So we have a Dollar Tree haul for you. We both went to our local Dollar Trees and picked up a bunch of little movies, and I'm interested to see if we picked up a lot of the same ones.
Probably, although I have to say not everything I have comes from Dollar Tree, but I would say a good 75% because they were loaded. For whatever reason, I hit them just as the truck had just finished rolling them off the conveyor belt. So
Nice. All right. So we're going to start with Blu-rays first. I've got 11 Blu-rays and he's only got 2, but he's also going to go right into the DVDs that he has because he has way more DVDs than I do. So let me kick it off here. All right. God damn. And then we're going to give you an update afterwards about what's going on with Indie Film Cafe and the fun stuff going on in October. All right, so this is our September haul. This is the last day of September, by the way, everybody, that we're recording this. So we'll be up tomorrow, October 1st. All right, so the first thing I got, I did not realize was a sequel, but I thought this was the first one, but apparently this is the sequel. There's, it's 2 days in New York by Julie Delpy, who did 2 days in Paris, I think was the first one, with Adam Goldberg. And this is with Chris Rock, and it's the same character. So it's very much like in the same vein of Before Sunrise and Before Sunset or whatever, you know, all those movies. Have you seen those movies?
Not really. It's not really my thing, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, with done by Richard Linklater, but Julie Delpy is the star of those with Ethan Hawke, and now she's doing these on her own, and she's the director of it. So, all right, so that's the first one. Then I got a movie called this. Okay, this is the one Is this the one I'm least excited about? Okay. No. I actually am excited about this one. This is by Zan Cassavetes. It's called Kiss of the Damned. And Zan Cassavetes is actually the daughter of John Cassavetes.
John Cassavetes, yeah.
And the sister of Nick Cassavetes and stuff. So I'm interested to see. That's really interesting to see that she directed something. It looks kind of like horror thriller-ish, kind of film.
Yeah, look cool.
Yeah. And then I got CBGB, that has a huge fucking cast in it. It's got Alan Rickman, Malin Ackerman, Justin Bartha, Richard Delerck, Johnny Galecki, Ashley Greene, Rupert Grint from Harry Potter, Taylor Hawkins, Dana Caddick, Donald Logue, I love him, Joel David Moore, who I love, Freddie Rodriguez, Michael Sumner, and Bradley Whitford. Just a huge cast of.
Wow.
Interesting to see that. It's about the rock club.
The club, yeah.
Yeah, the punk rock club. Then there's a movie that is, I guess it's a Christian film or something, but it's called The Resurrection of Gavin Stone. I think I have this on DVD from the Dollar Tree, but it's always nice to kind of upgrade and do this. I could always sell that other one or give it away. We could always give
it away now.
Hey, if we could give things away at Indie Film Cafe and stuff for raffles or whatever.
Get a random movie
for Patreon, for our Patreon only members.
There you go.
You'd have to spend $1 in order to help us out. Then there's a movie that Cuba Gooding Jr. directed this film. I didn't even know what? He's allowed to direct. Jesus.
I suppose.
He also acts in it with Famke Janssen and Richard Dreyfuss. And it's called Bayou Caviar.
Huh.
So, I've never heard of this. It looks like a thriller type thing. So I have no idea. It's like murder, revenge story. So sounds interesting. Then I got a movie.
It's really weird how movies just sort of like appear at the dollar store and you've never heard of them. They never made it into cinema in the theaters. They never made it into the big places that get bought. Like Target or Best Buy. They just never
Actually,
did.
some of them do. Some of them have been at the Targets or Walmarts, and then they were like there for like maybe a year or two or whatever. Then they get transferred over to the Dollar Tree. Like I think ITN puts out a lot of movies that,
So Dollar Tree's like the last chance to get a buck.
Pretty much. I mean, they're just like, hey, I'm sure they get some kind of deal. The distribution companies get some kind of deal with selling these for like having them get sold for $1. And then there's a movie starring Olivia Wilde, Jake Johnson, Anna Kendrick, and Ron Livingston. It's called Drinking Buddies.
Okay. I like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah, I like Olivia Wilde,
Yeah.
So it's got commentary at the writer director and a bunch of other stuff. It's like surprised actually. Most of these don't have much like as far as way of special features. I think the CBGB one did and a few other ones, but most of the time it's just a bare bones movie.
Yeah, that and the Cassavetes ones I would be very interested in checking out.
Yeah. And then there's a movie that stars Milo Ventimiglia, I can't say his name right, Katie Sackhoff, Jason Lee, Robert Patrick, and Faison Love, called Tell.
That sounds interesting. I'd love to see it just on that cast alone.
I know, right? Like, this is a badass cast. And look at Jason Lee there, right? Like, if you can see him right there, just all smiling and shit. I'm like, all right.
I loves me some Katie Sackhoff.
Oh, yeah. She's I've never really watched any of, like, it was like Star Trek or something, or one of those kind of.
No, it was Battlestar Galactica. It was the new Battlestar Galactica. She was really good.
Probably. I'd never watched it, so I had no idea. Like, I know of her because of, like, she was in, like, Big Bang Theory for a cameo and stuff like that, but never really.
And then she was on that detective show up in, like, Montana or whatever that was called. That was the other big show she was on. Long Acre.
Yeah. Well, I never got into this stuff, but, it's really great that she's out there making, this stuff. So awesome. Now this I'm interested in too, because just like I like that Cuba Gooding Jr. directed something or whatever. Simon Helberg co-directed and wrote. Simon Helberg plays Howard on Big Bang Theory, and he wrote a movie called We'll Never Have Paris, and it looks like some kind of like unromantic comedy kind of thing. I'm interested in seeing that. It's got Simon Helberg, Melanie Linsky, and Maggie Grace, and Jason Ritter, and Alfred Molina, and Zachary Quinto. So kind of
an un-rom-com.
Yes, exactly. Then there's a movie called Good Neighbors. Never heard of this, but it's got Jay Baruchel, Emily Hampshire, and Scott Speedman. Nobody else I know of. Wait, was there somebody else? I thought there might have been. Nope, that's it. Those are the only big names in it. But I like Jay Baruchel because he was really funny, and there's a TV show back in the day that Judd Apatow produced called Undeclared. I used to really, really love Undeclared.
Gotcha.
Then I also have to get this movie, Dog Soldiers.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here's an interesting thing. I hated this movie. And the only reason I'm buying it, and well, other than the fact that it was $1 and it's a Blu-ray of it, is because I need to watch it again at some point. It won't be on this like Halloween, 31 days of indie horror that I'm doing, but I'm eventually going to watch this again because I feel like I didn't give it a fair chance when I watched it, and maybe I'll like it again.
I have it on DVD. I actually haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
So you've never seen it? Okay.
No, it was in one of my earlier haul videos.
Well, speaking of werewolves and stuff, the last one I have is Big Bad Wolves.
Yay! I got that too.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Apparently, Quentin Tarantino says it was the best film of the year. I don't know much about it other than that. Was that it?
Quentin Tarantino, mark of quality.
I don't know. He seems to know cinema pretty well.
Pretty well.
All right. So I guess your start with your Blu-rays and then go to your DVDs.
So first couple of ones we have are Blu-rays, and the very first one I have is Parasite. Everybody kept telling me how fabulous this movie was, and the fact that it won Academy Awards and was not only a horror film but a foreign horror film made me very, very intrigued. So I haven't actually gotten it to watch it yet, but I'm going to try maybe this weekend, and heard just all kinds of great things about it. Did you see this, Moody?
I have not. I think it's on like Hulu or one of those, or HBO or one of those channels. I'll probably check it out at some point. I'm very hit or miss on foreign films,
Mm-hmm.
And there was a foreign film. Yeah, it's in one of the DVDs that I realized it was foreign after I bought it, and I was like, oh man, I did not, which isn't bad. Isn't bad. It's sometimes it's just not the same as obviously the way that we kind of
the quality could be. There's some really great stuff, and then there's some stuff that's
Yeah, and I've heard really good things about Parasite. I mean, it went up for like
Academy Awards. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, so there you go. So I mean, maybe it's a really good movie, and maybe it's not. Like I know it's a foreign director, so maybe it's not a foreign movie.
Yeah, he's the same guy who did Train to Busan.
Yeah, which I've never seen. So
it's good. And so the second one is one that I found at a thrift store. I was going in there. Remember when Gary came down and we were looking around to see if we could come up with some scrubs for him.
Mm-hmm.
We never did find any, but I found a Blu-ray and a DVD, and the Blu-ray I found for 88 cents, American Psycho.
Nice.
So I never really had this. I liked it. I never had it on DVD.
I actually have it on 4K.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Which has the Blu-ray, because I don't have a 4K player right now, so I have to watch the Blu-ray anyway.
Gotcha. So I mean, Christian Bale, Reese Witherspoon, yeah. But everything else, I remember I really kind of enjoyed this film. It was very subversive.
Mm-hmm.
So 88 cents? Are you kidding? Come on.
Yep. That's a bargain right there.
And let's go into my stack of DVDs, starting with the other movie that I found for 88 cents at the thrift store. And this blew my mind when I saw it, because I had no idea that this existed. And it is a movie about the Flaming Lips called The Fearless Freaks. And it's about this guy who followed the band for a long time, for years, and would do all kinds of photography for them. And he put this movie together about them and showing off their music and their concerts and all their weird ass shit that the Flaming Lips do. And so 88 cents, you can't beat that with a stick.
Yep.
So I grabbed that. Now we're getting into the dollar store part of the haul, because there were just oodles of it. And this one actually looks pretty good. It's a real mixed bag. There's some stuff that looks like it's really crappy stink, and there are other ones that could be pretty interesting little indies. We'll have to see. First one of this group is called Pulse.
Yes, I saw that.
You saw this one? Yeah. So this is, speaking of foreign films,
I think it's Korean or something, or
Japanese. I think it's Kiyoshi Kurosawa. But yeah, this is part of that sort of like Before the Grudge and all that stuff.
Right, which they actually did do a Pulse remake in America with Wes Craven produced it, and
never saw it.
Yeah, it stars like Kristen Bell, and it was. I own it. It's okay, But if you ever watch Forgetting Sarah Marshall, there's a bit where they're making fun of the fact that Sarah Marshall's acted in a movie about a phone that will kill you or whatever. Like, how can a phone, like Russell Brand's like, how can a phone fucking kill you?
Right.
I don't understand it. Like, oh, hello, I'm dead. Right? Like, making fun of it. He was literally, she thought he was making fun of Pulse, and he was just literally just making fun of, because they were allowed to improv on the set, and he was just literally making fun of any like horror movie made today, and
Sure.
she happened to make a movie that was very similar in a way, because the whole idea of Pulse is that technology or whatever, like there's ghosts in the technology, kind of thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
But
okay, next is one you probably know also. This is The Last Exorcism Part 2.
Do you have Part 1, or did you
I do not have Part 1, although I've seen Part 1. I was kind of But Part 2, again, it was $1, so I'll end up getting the Part 1. I don't know that you necessarily have to see Part 1 in order to enjoy Part 2, but I suppose it couldn't hurt.
I think Eli Roth produced those. And
yeah, he did.
Yeah, I didn't watch them. I think I own the first one. I'm not really, I feel like, and I've had a discussion with friends about this, I feel like there's a formula to the Exorcist movies that started with The Exorcist that just kind of gets formulaic, and I feel like I can't even write a feature length version of that. Like I did
you have to break the formula.
Yeah, and I feel like nobody really breaks the formula.
Mm-mm.
They pretty much just stick to it, and then it becomes just like, okay, I've seen this a million times.
Right. It's the same thing. So this next one is one that I never heard of, but it wouldn't surprise me if this ends up in your second group. But as I did a little research, and it turns out this is actually pretty cool, and it is called Murder Party.
Yep.
There you go.
I did some research on that too. So.
Yeah, apparently everybody who's I've read who's seen it has really enjoyed it. Says it's a lot of fun.
I definitely want to check it out. It'll be something I want to review for Indie Film Cafe. When we do, we'll talk about bringing how we're gonna hopefully bring some of those videos things back.
Next one is a weird Western horror mashup with Tony Todd and Lance Hendrickson called West of Hell. So that looks like it'd be fun.
Well, it's funny that you say that. We're actually reviewing that on 31 Days of Horror. I think Tom Conkle is going to be the guest on that one. But
nice.
That's got like Tony Todd and a couple other people in it.
And Lance Hendrickson plays Satan.
Plays what?
Plays Satan.
Oh, nice.
I know. So
I'm
that should
excited.
be fun.
It's going to be on. It's on Tubi, so I'm like excited to watch it. It'll be fun.
Right. Next from that group, we have something with Ray Stevenson, David Oakes, and Aura Garrido called Cold Skin.
Ooh.
So yeah, this looks like another zombie kind of it's up in the Antarctic. Oh, okay. Very nice.
Well, that's probably why it's called Cold Skin.
There you go. And then we have, this one's kind of been floating around. I've heard various things about it. Some people don't like it, some people do. But it's called Scrawl, and it's about an evil comic book that comes to life, and things that happen in the comic book start to happen for real.
Oh, that doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah.
I'll have to see if that's on Tubi.
Yeah, some people said it was okay, some people didn't. It's one of those things. You're going to buy the concept or you're not.
Let me see if it's on Tubi, because then I'll do that. I mean, I'm still looking for junk to do on... yeah, it is. So, all right. Well,
there you go. Well, you might look for the next one too, because this looks like it's also going to be fun, and it is Apocalypse Road.
I own that, I think. I think it's got a different cover, if I'm correct, but I think I own that.
Yeah, this, as I recall, had a different name. It's come out before. It's Wild Eye Release. And it came out as a different name.
I think it was still called Apocalypse Road when I got it. I don't know. Because that name sounds familiar. So I think it was that, but it had different cover on it, it looked like.
But I have seen Katie Kohler from other things. So
nice.
Next, we have something called The Signal.
I saw that in the Dollar Tree. I may, go for next haul. If I find it, I might buy it. I mean, I wasn't that, I don't know. I mean, I had to be sort of picky, with things.
And I know you're not a big sci-fi fan.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's not even the main reason, but I think I would have. I don't know. I think it looked too it looked too mainstream. I guess I was trying to go for a lot of more indie
Hmm.
stuff. You know,
But for a buck, I mean, come on, I figure you
or a, can't beat that.
can't beat that with a stick.
Oh, you
Next, we
could.
have, let's look at a very crappy, stinky eco movie called Super Collider.
Nice.
And yeah, it looks like a big old meteor going to destroy Earth or something about to destroy Earth. I imagine the special effects are not going to be particularly good. And gosh, I don't really see anybody in here that I know. Yeah, ugh. We shall see. We'll give it a try when I get to it. This one I know you have, and when I saw it, there was no way I was passing it up. Clown Town.
Yes, I saw that too at the Dollar Tree again, and I was like, "Yep,
Yeah,
I own that movie." But it's you know, it's actually kind of fun. I enjoyed it. Out of
yeah,
all like the clown exploitation movies that are getting made these days, you know, like because I've seen some, and I'm not gonna bash any or whatever, but some are not.
yeah. I
Some
know.
have like a great plot, but then they just
We've
don't.
seen a few that weren't really
You
great
know,
shakes, if you know what I mean. It's like Shakes the Clown.
yeah, but they try and
Right,
they try
right.
really hard, and I think Clown Town really delivered. I know and I've met the producers of it and everything, and at Texas Frightmare, and I think they even signed my copy, and stuff. And I mean, they're just really awesome. They were happy I really liked it, and then I got to see their other movie they did about a killer RV, you
Right,
know.
right,
So
right.
it was fun.
And then the last one for the first group is one that I know that you know, and I think we know folks who are involved in it, and that is Dystopia.
It's actually filmed in Virginia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
Michael Copon and a bunch of other
Hmm.
people. Robert Best, I think, is even in it.
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
there you go.
Alan Phillips, Eve Morrow, Sheena Colette, Leo Goodman, and Michael Madsen.
Oh yeah, Michael Madsen. I need to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. But all right. Well, I'm gonna start this collection off with the double feature that you would never buy. It's a Kirk Cameron double feature.
Oh dear.
It's called Revive Us and Revive Us 2. Apparently Jackie had heard of it and said it was, you know, she had never seen it, but heard it was good. So, yeah. All right. So there you go. I knew, any of the church / Christian movies or whatever you probably wouldn't buy.
Nope.
And then this is the one that's
Except for Bible Man. I'll buy some Bible Man because he's Bible Man.
So I bought this, and this was the movie I think I told you, like I there was a foreign film, and I didn't know it was foreign or whatever. I mean, it looks like it could be good. I'll give it a try at some point. It's called I Saw the Devil, and I think
I've
it's
heard of
Korean.
that film.
I think it's
Yeah,
Korean.
yeah, I've heard of that film.
Yeah. So I mean, nobody I know. It's got a Korean cast, so looks like it could be good. Then I got okay. So I had to tell one of my friends about this because he produced and stars in it and everything. It's my friend Joshua Winch, and I told him, oh, by the way, Lake Fear 3 is at Dollar Tree, and did you pick that up too? Nice. Okay, so you don't need to like hold that up, but so Lake Fear 3 was at my Dollar Tree and was at your Dollar Tree. Guess what was
Yep.
at his Dollar Tree? Lake Fear 2.
Nice.
Well, it wasn't nice because he had nothing to do with Lake Fear 2. He's kind of
Oh, I see.
yeah,
Gotcha.
that was actually by name only one as completely different movie. They just slapped on Lake Fear 2 as the title. Companies have a thing to do that, but I thought that was cool that it was there, so I showed him, and he was like, for $1, that's a good deal right there. He usually gives me the movies for free, to watch and review and stuff. So,
and most of these for $1, it's really kind of worth it. I mean, why not give it a try? I mean, you're only out $1 if it's terrible, and if it's really terrible, it's fun.
If it's really terrible, it's something we might be able to put on our show.
Exactly.
But sadly, I haven't really seen many of those at these stores. Like those like so terrible, they're fun to whatever. Usually they're just pretty good or mediocre. So the next one I got was what I've heard a lot about and I've been wanting to see, and it's a huge name movie, and I'm surprised it was at the Dollar Tree. The Belko Experiment.
Yeah, I've heard of that one. I didn't
James Gunn. It's got John Gallagher Jr., Tony Goldwyn, Adria Argina, whatever. John C. McGillney, Melanie Diaz, and Michael Rooker. So can't go wrong with Michael Rooker.
Oh yeah, always.
Never can go wrong with them. All right, another one I was excited to check to get because I've been watching these Dollar Tree hauls on on YouTube and everything, and somebody mentioned this, and then another friend of mine said he was my friend Eric Spudik, who's a movie guy, went to the Dollar Tree, and I think he picked it up too. Is American Nightmares. And this looks really good. Did you get that too?
I got that too.
See, I knew we were gonna have a couple like that. You and I both got. But it's got Danny Trejo, Vivica A. Fox, Chris Kattan, Jay Moore, Brendan Sexton III, Clarence Williams III, and it's it's directed by or co-directed by Rusty Cundiff and Darren Scott, who did the Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood. Yep.
So I'm super stoked about watching that. Then I got this. I'm not sure if you got this either. I have a feeling you might have, because this seems like right up your alley. If they didn't have it there, I'm surprised. It's another Maggie Grace movie, but it's got Ryan Quinton, Maggie Grace, Mike Epps, Peter Russells, Clancy Brown, and John Malkovich, and it is SuperCon.
I saw it there. I did not pick it up.
Why not?
I might have picked it up because I actually got some more stuff, but for the next haul. So it wouldn't surprise if this shows up in next month's haul.
Okay, because it's got it's directed by Zach Knutson, who yes, that is his name, I guess. He's a guy who did a lot of behind the scenes documentaries for Kevin Smith back when they did like Clerks 2 and Zach and Miri Make a Porno and stuff like that. And then he directed this, and I think he's done other movies. But he directed it, and Dana Snyder, who I've interviewed, who was Aqua Teen Hunger Force, was the Master Shakes or whatever.
Gotcha.
Was had co-wrote this, and I remember him talking about it. So I'm interested in checking it out. It's a
by the way. Speaking of Kevin Smith, as soon as you said Michael Rooker, my mind immediately flashed to chocolate-covered pretzels.
Well, we talked about Jason Lee and Michael Rooker, so I'm not.
I know.
All right, and then this had 3 movies in it, and when I first grabbed it, I didn't realize that it included 2 other movies. So that's always a cool, especially for $1.
I love that.
That's like 33 cents a movie, or whatever. But it's called The Devil's Restaurant. It says Your Table Awaits, right? And it's got another movie called Toe Tags, and another movie called How to Be a Serial Killer. So those are always fun, right?
There you go.
So there you go. So I'm interested in that. And then there's a movie starring Edward Furlong, of course, of all people. And Heather McComb stars in it. And I love her. I've loved her ever since Kickboxer 2, I think she was in. And Stay Tuned. So some of my favorite little movies. It's called Paranormal Abduction. And so sounds like a fun little, movie like that. And then, so another was it ITN? Yeah, ITN put out this movie called Jurassic Predator. And it looks...
Yeah, that's I picked that up, but not in this haul. That's next month's haul.
Yeah, it looks like crap, but fun crap. Maybe. Oh, it's got Lachlan Monroe in it though. Who did you get to meet Lachlan at the Scares I Care or whatever? Yeah,
I didn't.
It's got Mark Shepard from Supernatural and Lachlan Monroe from, well, I mean, I know him from Dead Man on Campus and a lot of other movies. And it's got, I think those are the only big names. Everybody else is people I've never heard of, except if that's Scott L. Schwartz. I don't know if that's the Scott Schwartz from Christmas Story or not. I don't think so. Then there's Murder Party. So we talked about that. And then I have two more, and then I'm done. There's a movie called Global Meltdown. That looks like trash, but fun. Michael Pare.
Oh God.
Yeah, he's in almost anything. Like he's kind of like Eric Roberts these days, or Costas Mandylor and all those guys who are just
right.
Like, hey, you pay us, we'll come in and we'll make the movie as good as possible with our parts. Yeah. So, and last but definitely not least, this actually looks like a lot of fun. Movie called 88, starring Catherine Isabel and Christopher Lloyd.
Very nice.
Also got Michael Ironside, Jesse McCartney, and I think that's it of the people I know. April Mullen. I don't know the other people. April Mullen produced and directed it too. So there you go.
Okay.
So looks like, I don't know, looks kind of interesting. So,
sure.
All right. So you're last of your haul.
So there are three that you mentioned that we already talked about. So Big Bad Wolves, Lake Fear 3, American Nightmares, which just on the cast alone, I wasn't letting this puppy go by.
I know. Like when Eric had said that, I had to message him and be like, "Yep, I picked that up," because I saw it and I was like, "Yep." I'll give a shout out. There's a great there's a guy, the 13th Wolfman on YouTube, and he does all the Dollar Tree hauls as well. You know, he goes to Dollar Tree pretty much every time that the Dollar Tree has a thing. He usually gets Blu-rays, actually. Mainly looks for Blu-rays, and he finds some really good stuff, and
it's amazing what you can pick up. So the next group we have, speaking of Eric Roberts, we have Code of Cain, which is some kind of actioner with also, well, I guess with a bunch of Russian folks, Natasha Allam and Sally Kirkland of all people's in there, and a bunch of Russian folks that I cannot pronounce properly, but I think this is probably a Russian film. So, and of course, Eric Roberts, who, let's face it, he and C. Thomas Howell are in everything.
Pretty much.
Pretty much.
And if they're not, they're sometimes in the same movie, too.
Right. Next one is, I'm pretty sure you have, or at least have seen, Sea Beast.
I have that, yeah.
Yeah. This is one I've seen before in the dollar store. I didn't pick it up, but it wasn't getting me past me this time.
It's generally at the Dollar General.
Check it out. Look at that ridiculousness in the back. It's going to be silly.
It was generally at the Dollar, like Dollar General or whatever, not the Dollar Tree. So to get it at the Dollar Tree, that's a pretty good deal for a dollar,
Right. Exactly. Here's one I don't know much about. The Nightmare Begins When You Wake. The Shadow Man. So apparently, this is about somebody who sees a shadow in her sleep or in something, and it turns out this shadow starts stalking her and starts killing people, and yeah. So
sounds about right.
Sort of a minor thriller. Check it out.
Sweet.
Next one is called Asylum of the Damned.
Oh, I have that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think I got it probably, forgot where, but or you know what? Was it Wild Eye that put it out, or
one of those companies?
Because
Bruce Payne, Tracy Scroggins, Julia Lee, Randall Igland, Tiny Lister.
Nice. I met him. He's nice. Just don't bother him when he's eating.
Yeah.
You were there when that happened.
I sure was. Next one is definitely a Wild Eye release, and we are talking Bone Jangles.
Bone Jangles.
Yeah, some kind of evil, nasty critter.
I feel like I have that movie too.
Okay.
See, all these movies are movies that like I think Wild Eye gave me when I was I need to watch a lot of these things because like
I know, seriously.
Docked on them. It's really hard because, you know, we've got the movies that we are going to be doing, you know, for our stuff, but you know, and we'll get into that later.
I'm dying to do you know, one movie a year, you know, for 360 whatever days. That would be amazing.
What? Oh, well,
you got to start you got to start in January though. That's the thing.
I know, but I don't know. Can you do it with all your busyness?
Know. Probably not.
You know, I would say don't start it this year because if we got Supernatural Assassins being filmed, there's no way you can like break to go watch a movie or something.
Right.
You know,
you'd have to like watch. You know, well, the thing is that you'd have to do quick videos. It'd have to be like 10 minutes, and that's it.
Oh, we were talking about even doing videos. I thought you were just talking about watching them.
No. If I'm going to watch them, I may as well make a video or make a review of them, you know?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, 300. That's 300 videos on our channel. Yeah, I'm almost tempted to do it too. And then we would have, if we both did one like each day and uploaded them, that would be like 600, 700 like fucking. But
we could clear out a lot of these dollar store stuff, you know, that we just get.
Especially if that's what we watched. Yeah.
Right.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. So going on, I got 4 more. We have something called The House of Salem.
Once again, I think I have it. I know I've seen it.
Like, and it is a Wild Eye release.
Yeah, I think if they did not actually give that to me, I just saw that it was available or whatever and just never bought it.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's all of them are kind of like being melted together, you know.
Yeah, I know. After a while, it all starts to blur.
They've made so much.
Next one is something called The Banished.
I haven't heard of that one.
And
is it a ghost story?
I could very well be. It looks like it's a creepy kid. It says here, October 1992, Londoner Jane Darcy travels to Greenvale, New York to claim the remains of her mother, Emma Gray, who died from a brain aneurysm, and she encounters Christopher Dodd, a twisted man with a deep connection to her late mother. Then there's an evil secret, and
of course,
some kind of shit comes out at night, and yeah. So we'll see. Greenvale has a deadly secret, and apparently it is The Banished.
Nice.
And finally, the last 2 videos are going to be a pair of shitty shark films because
of course,
who doesn't love shitty shark films? I'm pretty sure you've seen or have both of these. We're talking Avalanche Sharks.
I've seen it, and I think I reviewed it for was it a B movie breakdown or one of those B movie blockdown or whatever, or something like that. Right. No. I reviewed it for the Sunday Shark Attack thing, the first one that we did.
Nice.
Which I want to bring back at some point.
And the last one, starring your girl Tara Reid, we are talking Trailer Park Sharks.
So that was at the Dollar Tree?
That was at the Dollar Tree.
If I can find that at my Dollar Tree, if they end up getting that for my Dollar Tree, I'm buying that because I absolutely I want to get that. I think it was done in Louisiana or something. So
there you go.
All right.
That is my haul for September.
And my haul was just done. So there you go. There's our hauls right there, which we had a lot. I mean, Paul had gotten 20, like more than, like originally you said 22, I guess. Then you got about 13. So I guess you also added the 3 on there or whatever, right?
No, there were 25 and then the 2 Blu-rays. And then I got another 13 on another day for next month. So
yeah, hopefully I can get at least a 13 for next month too, so that we can, we can do another haul next month.
My dollar store doesn't really have that many movies typically. I mean, it has a few, but nothing like this. So I really hit them at a good time. So nice. There you go.
All right. Well, it is October, everybody. Well, I mean, when this is released, right now it's not. We've got a few more hours before October. For you, it's a little closer.
A little closer.
But so what I wanted to kind of mention was that we released the Davila's Midnight Movie Mortuary,
Very nice.
The final episode of the season, October 1st. So
Yay!
at midnight, we're excited. Midnight Eastern. So 9:00 my time, it'll be out and available, and it'll go live for the first hour and a half or whatever, and then everybody can watch it whenever they want to. If you missed it live, you can end up watching it. So if you're hearing this now and you just figured out about it, there you go.
There you go.
The other thing is, so I'm starting a 31 days of horror, and I put out to everybody that, if anybody wanted to be a guest, and I thought like maybe 2-3 people would say, yeah, because it was 9:00 at night, my time. So I figured there wouldn't be much people there, and, whatever. And then bam, it got like way too many people. And all of them are pretty much are going to be joining me.
Yay.
So unfortunately, one of them can't, because he's in Canada, and Canada doesn't have the same Tubi shows and movies and stuff.
Oh, Canada.
I know, poor Canada. So unfortunately we can't do that, but hopefully I'm sure I'll have another guest or something. Maybe Jackie will do another one with me or something, because
I'm in there, aren't I?
You are. You're going to be, you're on the list. I gave you the date, and I even told you what movie we're watching, and I think you're excited about it. I mean, I tried to pick ones that will be fun for everybody to watch, whether it's, a goofy little movie, or like not very serious. Like, I know I'm going to spoil it, but there's like Piranaconda is on that list of
Sweet.
movies. Like, how could you not want to watch something like that? And like, much like all of the Indie Film Cafe stuff, we're not here to like bash movies that aren't good or whatever. We're here to just talk about it, and stuff. And that's really what I want to focus on, is not a review and critique of the movie. I mean, of course, there's going to be a little bit of that because you can't help it, but it's more or less our talking about what, about it, and everything. And that's what I really want to concentrate on for it, because I want to celebrate indie film. So it's 31 days of indie horror. A lot of people are doing 31 days of horror, and they're picking like more mainstream stuff, or
right. I've seen that.
Or there's going to be like a VHS one that Tony Has Nine Fingers is doing, which I think is pretty cool. He's doing like A to Z, and watching like 20 something, whatever, 30, whatever. But he's like going from A, B, C, D, and watching all these VHS movies.
I mean, you got to figure, if you're going to do this sort of thing, COVID's the time to do it.
Right, exactly. I mean, otherwise, I probably wouldn't do it. Like if I had like a regular job, that I just couldn't have time to focus on this. But I'm definitely going to focus on it and try to get.
Well, because unlike most people, I've been going in every single day. But today, I decided to work from home, and I think from here on out, I'm going to pick one day, probably Wednesday, and I'm going to work from home, because I'm just getting a little sick and tired of going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and everybody else gets to be a lazy lump and stay home. I want some of my COVID time.
Yeah, you're still going to be working and doing stuff. It's not like you can't, do that. You know what I mean?
A lot of that research is stuff I can do just as easily on my own computer at home.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have a time clock or anything, right? Like, do you?
Well, I mean, I have hours that I have to keep.
Right, but but they don't have you go there, and you don't have to go inside and punch it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
no,
it's not like that. So, I mean, they wouldn't.
I could do 4 hours in the morning, take a couple hours for lunch, and come back and do 4 hours in the afternoon or evening. As long as I get my 8 hours in, doesn't really matter.
Yep. So yeah, that'd be great. I mean, I think honestly, it'd be good for you to do that too. Then you can watch movies at home too, or whatever, if you get a chance, or check out more stuff. But so we want to talk about like what's going on, updates, things. So the 31 Days of Horror is coming in for October, and then I think so is, let me see the ones I have.
So how are you going to do that? Are you going to do a movie every day and release it the same day?
Not the same day. It's going to be the day before that we review it, and then it goes up the next day.
Okay.
So it's not really going to be like that same day, because that's really that's almost difficult to do.
So I hope you got something already done then for day one, October.
I will tonight. I've
Okay.
already watched it, so
Good
I
for
just
you.
got to review it. And then I've got day 2 already done and already uploaded and everything.
Nice.
Ready. Because we did that last night, because when you have the time to do stuff like that, you use it. You use that time as wisely as you can, because
Sure.
and I know, I think I'm going to do that tomorrow too, because like I said, I think for Friday my plan was to have the guy that unfortunately lives in Canada and unfortunately can't do it. So I think I'm just going to get Jackie to do it again with me, or I'm going to do a solo.
Yeah, have her do her octo dance again.
So all right, so let's see. What else is going on? So I wanted to bring up the stuff that we're okay, so stuff that is okay, so
campaign's still going on, right?
Right. Well, we'll talk about that in a second, but I want to talk about the podcast and YouTube schedule right now that's happening.
Okay.
So Indie Film Cafe is still going, podcast still going. That's in November. Okay, let me look up October. Okay. So we've got mine on the second Monday or whatever. Then the second, and on Friday we have a Indie Film Cafe Spotlight with Kevin Strange.
Yay.
And it was wonderful. A lot to learn. If you are a guy who just wants to go make a indie film, that is the one to do.
Or
girl. No discrimination there. If you want to make an indie film, listen to Kevin Strange talk about it, because he has a lot of experience.
He's been in the trenches. He knows every trick, and he can give you lots of good tips.
Exactly. So we've got mine. Then we've got a Hollywood Boulevard podcast. I'm not going to say what movie we're watching. All right, I'll say it. I don't care, because we're going to watch it and we're going to review it, and it's going to be awesome. It's Color Out of Space.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, the Nick Cage H.P. Lovecraft movie.
Yeah.
So then, if you want to come on there, I don't know if you can watch it or not on Shudder. Shudder has like a free thing that you could probably join, for like 7 days or something, and watch it. If you want to join us for that, we're recording that on the 7th and putting it out on the 14th. So
I'll get back to you on that.
Okay. I think I'm also trying to get Lila on that one. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get Lila more involved with some of our stuff. She's cool.
Yeah. And then Indie Corner Radio. And I think if I've got somebody lined up for that, I don't want to say who yet, because it might not happen. It's just depending on Zooming and stuff. So I'm bringing that back for 3 more episodes of the season, and then I think I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to bring it back. What is it? I'm going to bring it back in March or so, when we get more people to come on. So then 80s horror movies. We're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street, which I'm really excited about. We got Julianne Prescott, Rebecca Reinhardt, Joe Gonzalez, and Mackenzie Kelly, who has never seen Nightmare on Elm Street. So she just watched it. She watched it with me, and she loved it. It wasn't scary, which I'm not surprised, these days. Then Horror Blood and Coffee will be back with Samantha, Marie, Derek Huey, and think we're going to get a special guest for that. And we're going to talk about Halloween 6. And we're going to talk about both cuts of that, the producer's cut and the original cut. And then the mainstream, we're talking with Joe Turk and myself, and we might have a guest on that for Halloween 3,
Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch, which is not a Michael Myers movie. But it's actually one of my favorites, and I've talked about this on a lot of stuff. I absolutely adore that movie. I mean, a lot of people
garbage.
It's
such a garbage movie,
but it's so fun. It's so much fun. I really enjoy it. 8
more days till Halloween.
I'm gonna find like a clip of that so I can put it on there. I don't care if you get in trouble. So Criterion Watch also with me, Joe, and so Joe Turk and I are doing that, and I think we might get a guest for that too. We're doing Foreign Correspondent with the Alfred Hitchcock movie. So that's it of my stuff. I know you. I didn't mention what we're doing for the Indie Film Cafe podcast one, but I've got one guest lined up for sure. I'm waiting on for the second guest. If I don't hear back, because I got to do that on Monday. If I don't hear back by the weekend, I'm asking somebody else to come on for it. But trust me, it'll be a fun little movie, and I don't really want to talk about it until that one comes out.
We just put out Octoman, so
we just put out Octoman, and if you haven't seen I just watched Octoman with Jackie, and she did our Octoman dance. And
it was hysterical.
I swear to God, I mean, no offense to the guy who was in the costume, but it really made him look gay. Like, going like this the whole time.
Well, you noticed, like, one arm was tied to another arm, so when he was moving them around, they were all going at once, except when the string broke and the other one was just kind of hanging there limp.
I'm excited to, I watched it just because I saw those on Amazon, and I wanted to listen to the podcast. And I don't really like listening to the podcast if I haven't seen the movie, because it kind of ruins them,
right?
The experience of watching the movie eventually. So there's a few I haven't seen that you've done so far, and I was so excited that Octoman was on there. I had to watch it. I know you invited me out. You invited me on for it, and I could have probably done it, but I mean, if you know me, I was burnt out by
right.
I think I'm finally getting my second wind right now, and that's good because I'm going to be extremely busy with this 31 days and all that. But you've got Indie Film Cafe episode, you've already done your Octoman one, but you've got your other one that you'll do next month for November. God, November, jeez.
I know.
Wait, no, October. Yeah, we haven't even got. Jesus, you're making me go. Wait, we're in the future. You're like, oh my goodness, no, October.
Well, I'm doing one for November too, just not yet.
No, you have to do the one for October first.
Yeah, I got October, November, December to do, and I already know what December's is going to be. So.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that. That's another thing is I'll be back in Virginia in December. So I've already got my plane ticket, and I'm excited to see my family and Obi and everybody there and stuff, but I'm also really excited to be back in the studio. I can't I get super I love being here, absolutely, but I'm I want to be in the studio. I want to see everything again.
Right. That'll be a nice little chance for you to get caught up again.
Yeah. And then, so we'll do that. We're gonna watch the last episode together with some special guests, most likely, with us, and we'll do it just like the old days. It won't be on Zoom. It'll be through our regular stuff.
We should just do another pajama party like we did last time. That might be the thing to do for the final episode of every year.
Well, especially if I end up coming back every year, which I hope to do, just to see family and everything. But yeah, that would be great. I would love to do a pajama party. I'm even trying to think about doing a Halloween party here, if I can, I don't know. We'll see. So let's see. Then there's what you've got that. You've got your sexploitation sleazecast show that you're starting.
Should be coming out somewhere in the middle of the month.
Somewhere in the middle of the month. That's awesome. And then what else do you?
What the Fuck Friday?
What the Fuck Friday, and I think that's it because I think I've got Film Freaks next month, and then you've got Criteria Watch next month, and I've got What the Fuck Friday next month. So in November. Yeah. So and then those are all done for a while until we bring them back. I think we're bringing all of that stuff back for Sick Flick TV, and we're also trying to figure out ways to make it look a lot better for Sick Flick TV too. So we'll see what we can accomplish with that. We got some cool ideas and tricks and stuff that we're gonna start doing.
More puppets.
Maybe. I don't know, more monkeys. Like my monkey. He's upside down. Where are you? His head is the squeaky toy. That's weird. Anywho, so that's, like I said, there's a lot of updates of like, we're just doing a lot of stuff. Like you said, there's the Supernatural Assassins, Indiegogo that's still going on. It's going to go on for another month. So if you guys want to help us out, please. We haven't got to our thing yet. Also, we got Patreon, and we want to do some more Patreon-only content. So we can't do that without more Patreon members.
Right.
We want some more Patreon members. So if you got $1, and maybe I'll promote it today on my page or something. And
$1.
$1, a month. It could really just help us. Pay for everything pretty much. That's just
right.
All we need to do is just pay for stuff. And we're not asking for payment for like the movies, we'll do that shit on our own. But we want payment for like the Podbeans, not cheap,
Right.
It's like $14 a month. And so a few more bucks that pays for it all. We have to chip in for our own self, which we do enjoy doing, but we would like to just make enough that we can pay the Patreon, the Podbean, and maybe
just clear some overhead.
Yeah, just get some other shit done so for it. So, whatever. If you guys want to help us out, we'll put more content up there for you for sure.
Monkey needs a new pair of shoes.
And we had I think Mackenzie was interested in doing some of those. So if we can get her to do that, that'd be awesome. But we'll see. I don't want to. She's busy, actually. She's busy working these days, so I'm very happy about that.
I know we could get her to do like 2 or 3 movies that we've already covered on Indie Film Cafe that she's never seen. I'm dying to see, for example, what she thinks about, Roller Gator.
You can't do Roller Gator. You keep saying that, but Roller Gator has already been a Patreon only one that we did. I want to get the really bad ones. I want to get stuff like, I want to see what she thinks of Blood Predator, since she's worked with Jared, who is in
Blood Predator. Would be a great one.
Yeah. I have Blood Predator, so maybe I'll show it to her someday.
Nice.
But yeah, I think she would get a kick out of that. Just seeing Jared, Cohn, like in his goofy self. So that would be fun.
Or maybe even Bart of the Blood Llama. Just so you can watch it again?
Oh, you want me to watch it again?
With her, yeah.
No. Oh. I don't know. We'll see. I can't say no. If you guys, all right, I'll tell you what. If you can get us $5, like that's 5 people to donate $1, I will watch Barn of the Blood Llama.
The movie he hates just about it more than anything else.
And I hate that movie. And so post that today. Say, hey, and post the Indiegogo, or the, not Indiegogo, but the Patreon thing, and say, if we can get $5 more, that's, just spend $1, a month or whatever. John will watch Barn of the Blood Llama. If we can get $10, he will watch Barn of the Blood Llama and Actium Max in this again.
Yes! Oh, if you really want to torment Jonathan, this is the way to do it. His 2 favorite movies.
I will do it for money. I will do it if we get, even just for 1 month, even if you don't want to spend another $1, the next month. I will do it. I will watch those movies again.
Someone has to step up, man.
I know we'll watch it with Mackenzie. I don't think I don't know. I'll talk to her. She might be okay with that. She's been talking to me about different stuff that, to do. So I don't know.
She wants to see the deep end of the pool. This is the way to do it.
Yeah, if she wants to see really bad movies, Paul can pick them.
I tormented poor Gary when he was down this past weekend. We got to see some Nick Zed movies, and he absolutely hates Nick Zed. I haven't shown you yet. I'm saving him.
God, you haven't shown me that yet at all. I don't know.
They're pretty rough.
Do you have them available, like where you can just send them to me or something, like on YouTube or whatever?
They are not on YouTube.
Well, no, I know, but you I don't know, you sent me stuff on that you put on YouTube or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
it's possible. It's possible.
Okay. If you could do that, I would love to watch a Nick Zed movie next year, because I know you already have things lined up for the next 2 months or 3 months.
I got stuff lined up for the next 300 years.
I know, but yeah, I don't know. I think me and Rebecca deserve Nick Zed. So I would be down with watching it with her. I think she's down with watching almost anything these days. So of us. So all right. So that's about it. I think. Is there? I'm trying to think of anything that we, that we're leaving out like that's going on, because
we mentioned Davila, right?
We mentioned Davila. We mentioned all the podcast schedule. We mentioned the Indiegogo going on. I mean, like we said, a lot of these are leaving. Hollywood Boulevard podcast will be back in March. A lot of them will be back in March.
And we're just cycling in stuff, some new shows, and we'll be bringing things back.
I have an idea for a cool show that I want to do, so I may do that in January, because honestly, in January, the YouTube channel is going to be very bare, and I do kind of want to have some content on there going, at least,
and, we still have Little Stinkers going too.
Little Stinkers, yes. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Little Stinkers, it's got 2 episodes left of the season, and then the first season is wrapped, and then the next season won't be back till the what is it, the 7th? No, the June, I think. So it won't be back till June. And I don't know what's going on. I'm pretty sure Larry and Bonnie will be back. But if Bonnie can't do it, because, she's got school and a life and she's a kid, she has to be a kid first.
Right.
We'll find somebody for with Larry, But also Larry and I have been talking about doing another show for every, so I'm excited about that. There's a potential other show. He wants to do more good movies again, and I don't want to just have him come on like Film Freaks or something. So me and him might actually start something together, and then we'll probably have you on, with us as well occasionally, if there's some movie that you get a kick out of or or whatever. But I don't know what it's called or what we're doing exactly. Larry and I have been talking about it, but we haven't mapped anything out yet. And so
well, if it's terrible porn movies, I got that covered.
Well, you're doing that with Rebecca, so and I don't think
it won't just be porn movies, though. It'll be bad porn, but it'll also be weird monster porn mashups and absurd artsy movies that have nudity and or sex in them. It's just going to be sort of that whole bit.
Well, speaking from the other end of the spectrum, I told you about this, but I haven't really announced this yet. I haven't come up with a name for it yet, but I am thinking in January I'm going to be starting a new series on YouTube for Indie Film Cafe called, or not called, but it's going to be about obscure Disney films. So it's really funny that you do the more obscure like porn movies, and I'm doing the more obscure Disney movies. But I'm trying to find ones that are on Disney Plus that people can watch. The one thing I really want, and this is what I'm like, that's why I've picked Tubi for most of the movies on the 31 day indie horror movies is I want people to be able to see the movie, I feel like and you're really good at this, Paul, but you're really good at finding movies that nobody can find, and stuff. And that's great for but I've noticed the podcasts that do really well for us here at Indie Film Cafe are the movies that people have either seen a lot of or have or are available for people to watch, And so I'm tending to pick movies that people can watch streaming or whatever. So if they want to watch it beforehand or something, they can watch the movie beforehand, then listen to our podcast, and stuff. So it's easier that way, I don't know.
And I think the other thing that we could maybe touch on a little bit is, of course, we are still putting up the Roku channel. And without getting into details, we are going to have some other material and other content from the folks coming onto the show, and hopefully we're going to be producing stuff to get put on there. So
our plan is to produce stuff like original content. That's what the Indiegogo was started for. But I think if we get Supernatural Assassins off the ground, that'll be, and some of, a lot of it will be used for, Sick Flick TV and stuff too. But a lot of it's also to get Supernatural Assassins off the ground, because once that gets off the ground, that pushes everything that we've done to a new level.
Right.
So if you guys can donate there, we'll leave a link below for that, as well as the Patreon.
But we have content from other folks that we have dealt with, and friends and co-workers and stuff like that, who are going to be bringing some of their content, and we're going to be showing that. And it's a great opportunity to see stuff that you might not be able to see elsewhere.
Yeah, Steve Rudzinski is is letting us have one, and one of his shorts. We got another movie called Monster from Golden Gate. I'm really excited about. I'm trying to just, right now it's not going to be, action packed with a lot of stuff. I mean, we might have a lot more like horror host stuff and things like that, and everything. Then once things start kind of starting to get going, I think all of a sudden big things will start coming from Sick Flick TV. So just tune in for this Roku. You'll see more about it if you're a part of the group for Indie Film Cafe, check that out. And
on Facebook.
And if you're also we've got Instagram for Indie Film Cafe and other stuff. So I think that's about it. I mean, there was this is a big update because there's just a lot going on right now. And I kind of wanted it to, because I think I took a break from a lot of stuff too for this past month to get ready for the, to do the Indiegogo and everything. And now I'm just sort of getting my stuff back. We are doing a short film too in January. So I'll talk more about that. You'll find out more about that on the Sick Flick TV page. We'll be promoting that. And so you'll hear more about that thing. So there's just a lot going on right now, and I'm super excited. We need so much content out there. And I'm very happy with this, the Zooms I was watching the Film Freaks Zooms last night for Jaws and what's the other one? Boogie Nights and stuff like that. We had a fun time.
Boogie Nights was really good. I like that one.
Yeah, that was a fun discussion. We really went into a lot of stuff on that, and I enjoyed it. So I'm excited. We have one last Film Freaks. We have two last Criterion watches, and then and then two more What the Fuck Fridays, I think, and we're done for the season. So we'll be back with season 3 of those. I can't believe those are on season 3, and Indie Film Cafe will be on season 4, and I think Hollywood Boulevard will be on season 5. So there's just a lot going on.
By the way, are you seeing my brain over here?
I do see your brain.
That's my evil brain from Planet Arrows.
Nice. So anyway, that's about it, I guess, right? Like, is there anything else? I don't think so. I think that covers it. Once again, if you want to make me suffer, donate $1, and
we do.
And get 5. If you get 5 people, I'm telling you, 5 people. I'll even post about this tonight. We can both post it tonight. 5 people, to donate $1. If you get $5, I will watch Barn of the Blood Llama again. Ugh. But if we get $10, I'll watch Barn of the Blood Llama and Actium Maximus. So nice. I hate those 2 movies. Those are 2 movies that are the worst of like my least favorite of all. So far, even season 3 hasn't beat those. Like, you have not given me anything that even Creeping Terror was better than these. You know what I mean? So
it's all right. I got something saved up for you for the end of the year. Something special.
Yeah. So Creeping Terror. What was the other one? What's the one that you think? I don't know. You had a couple bad ones.
Pretty bad ones.
I know. I know you got one really one later tonight. For me. So we'll see. And if there's $5 more after that, he will pick out one of the worst movies that he could possibly pick out for me to watch. So just remember, the more money that you guys donate to our Patreon, the more you're going to make me suffer, because Paul will make me watch these terrible movies, and we will review them again and talk about them. And I don't know. So there you go.
There's a movie script in that somewhere. Somebody kidnaps someone and forces them to watch the worst movies. It's like the worst torment and torture you can go through.
I don't know. Would that be like a series of anthology or whatever? Like not anthology, but like a movie that I don't know. 2 movies in one, basically.
It could be. It could be it's like a forced anthology.
Yeah, forced anthology.
Nobody's done that.
I don't know. Maybe you're onto something. Watch out, man. Hollywood's watching.
Ideas. I've always got the ideas.
Yeah.
Not always good ones, but
sometimes. All right. Well, thank you guys. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe. Click the button below. Let us know what you guys think. Give us a thumbs up if you like it, and hit that bell at the end so that you can actually check out stuff that we're doing.
Absolutely.
And to keep up to date, because if you actually hit that bell, you'll actually get more. You'll be notified when we have.
Ring the bell, baby.
Yep, exactly. So thank you guys, and just let us know what you think. And please, Patreon. I mean, we're not saying that because we just want money. We're saying it because Paul wants to torture me. So there you go with continuity.
Hell yeah.
And you're gonna be torturing poor Mackenzie too, because I'm gonna make her watch it. If I have to watch it again, she's watching it because she said she could handle it.
She wants it, so we're gonna give it to her. With your help.
Yep. So thank you guys so much, and join us next time.
All right. Thanks, guys. Bye.